So, my beloveds, what a journey. Life is an adventure. And whenever I stand up and I'm here with all of you, my human mind, I think about, do I bring up what I'm going through? Is it relevant? Is it too ego-based? Blah, 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 blah. And then spirit calms me down and I recognize that it's all. The topic of my sermon is the power of optimism. I've been listening to a spiritual anthem. This week, a week and a half ago, I began my radiation treatments. And what I love about my radiation treatments, and believe me, when I thought and imagined these things, I was so afraid. And I was very, very obsessed on wearing something green because I love angels. I believe in the power of angels, and the archangel, and Archangel Raphael is the angel whose name in Hebrew means God heals. He is in charge of healing. And he apparently, mediums, visionaries, mystics, and saints have seen him shrouded and wearing a beautiful mantle of green. So when I was, chemotherapy has been fairly easy. Once again, I believe it's everyone's prayers and my meditation and prayer practice that is basically making me, I would say, side effect free. But radiation was a big shift that I had to turn around because Spirit has taught me that it's really important to walk the middle path with our beliefs, concepts, and ideas. I had very strong ideas around radiation, that it would basically just kill you. Whose body should be radiated? And I thought, wow, that is not a belief that will serve me as I'm facing this experience. So I went into deep meditation and I said, okay, how can I look at this? And I was guided to a small book by Yogananda called Metaphysical Meditations. I opened it randomly and there was a prayer that said, I allow your ultraviolet rays to fill me, oh God. And I thought, wow. There was, your ultraviolet rays are filling me, oh God. And so I took that new statement of truth as a core belief that the ultraviolet radiation healing therapy, that's what I call it, is healing me and filling me with the vibration of God. So I also asked Jesus, the greatest guru and divine physician who healed many people, to be with me as one of my spiritual guides and teachers. So I get into this radiation room that is carpeted and very nice with this machine that doesn't look scary. And I lie down and right above me, the lasers are coming through a little cross in the wall and they are bright green. Oh, so the laser that covers me in a cross is light green. It's a beautiful pearlescent green. Wow. So I get to look at it while I'm going through my healing treatments and know that the ultraviolet rays, the healing rays of God, are healing me. Another thing that was very remarkable for me was that they're like, what music do you want to listen to? We put on Spotify. And I said, sure. And I was guided instantly to ask them to play gospel house music. Years ago, I used to go to a gospel house music brunch. You would eat and dance. And so this is what I listened to. And there's a song that plays every time. And it's called Be Optimistic by the Sounds of Blackness. Yes, keep your head to the sky, you can win. Be optimistic. So when I get off the table, I do a dance. The music is on and I dance. And they're like, we've never had anyone dance in the radiation. You know, as long as you keep your head to the sky, you can win. Be optimistic. So that is my choice. the power of optimism. Jesus, the greatest guru, was an optimist. The Buddha was an optimist. Abraham was an optimist. King Solomon was an optimist. Esther in the Bible was an optimist. Moses, when the Israelites were like, "Where are you taking us? We're in the desert for 40 years." Moses was an optimist, and they thought he was crazy and a Pollyanna. These greatest spiritual teachers and healers and saints were optimists. What is optimism? The definition of optimism is hope and faith combined with confidence and enthusiasm. It's a synergy. Those four qualities come together to create optimism. And the optimist has the expectation of good no matter what. So the key to optimism is that there is an expectation that things will work out no matter what. I believe that I'm going to be physically healed. That is my belief. And if I make my transition, my expectation is that I'm going to be in the divine realm of spirit, with the living light, with infinite intelligence, that I will be with God and the angels and my ancestors. So my expectation, regardless of the two outcomes, is of good, is of God. So you know that no matter what happens, even if the worst happens, beyond that, beyond the physical realm, there is a realm of good. And that is the expectation. Good in this life, good in the afterlife. Good with cancer, good with wealth. Expecting good even though you're poor or experiencing poverty, good in all circumstances. The expectation of good. As I did my research, it was fascinating to read about the scientific difference between pessimists and optimists. So optimists face reality. They don't deny what is. In fact, they face reality so well that they are willing, they found that optimists, so let's say an optimist is diagnosed with an illness. The optimist will exercise, take their vitamins. If they are going through the appearance of addiction, they will actually follow the steps of rehab and get through rehab. They are believers of the good. So they actually take the steps to change their circumstances. If they've gone through bankruptcy, they will try to figure out, how can I start another business? And they will be that person that lost $1 million and was on the street and started a business and gained it all back. So optimists take the steps to change their reality. They have found that pessimists live in denial of their problems. If they are an addict, they continue to drink, smoke, do drugs. They don't believe that small changes can bring about positive outcomes. They are less likely to exercise. They are more likely to become depressed and in despair, and they won't take action. So we, my beloveds, have actually had this idea that optimists are not rooted in reality. We've thought that optimists deny reality. In fact, they take the steps to change their circumstances. And that brings about healing and longevity. They tend to live longer, remarry more, lose money and make more money. They heal faster, and they are just overall happier people in the health and wellness from scientific data. And this is from the Center of Optimism. You all can go online and sign up for the Center of Optimism emails and messages. There is a Center of Optimism because there is real data. And they find that when they put them on machines, they have neural pathways, they have more serotonin and dopamine and stronger neurotransmitters. So this is a physiological reality connected to the power of the mind. They expect good no matter what. They expect good no matter what. So, my beloveds, in Philippians 4, verse 8, which I just feel like is a hallmark of optimism. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on such things. That is the key to optimism. Think on the good. My beloveds, I am a scary cat emotionally. I never thought I would be in a radiation healing session, which I call it, dancing in the room to gospel house music.
I think they was probably surprised too.
They've never seen anyone like this. I am going to see the good no matter what. And that is the call. So what is the nature of optimism? Optimism is not merely a state of mind. It is a reflection of our faith in the goodness of God and Spirit's plan for us, the ultimate plan and the immediate plan. It's all good. That is the expectation with an optimist. It is the unwavering belief that even in the darkest times, and we are in some dark times, people, can you imagine this is an election year? Wow. Even in the darkest times, there is light to be found. So the optimist finds the light, finds the good in the darkness. And the pessimist, and we waver back and forth in our consciousness, but the pessimist is overwhelmed by the darkness. I must say this. As I did my research, the unity movement has been accused for the last 100 years of being Pollyanna and focusing too much on the positive and the denial of life's suffering. There has been a shift in our consciousness. It was never the case. The Fillmores never said such things, but with the power of positive thinking movement in the 60s and 70s, we joined into, you've got to be optimistic and deny or not speak about the bad. This is not what I am saying. I had a thought last week. Am I cursed? Why would I be going through such a thing? I've been so healthy. That's a really dark thought. I had the thought, and I said, well, that's not conducive to healing, Martine. And I went into prayer and meditation. And that day, when everybody asked me, how are you doing? I was like, I'm really bummed out. I don't know why I'm going through this, but I know this feeling will pass. I did not deny my feelings. And I have an amazing, you guys met my cousin who used to sing with Celine Dion. She visited the sanctuary last year or the year before. She came from Vienna. In that moment, of course, I was thinking about not going to radiation. I'm like, if I die, but I was having very negative thoughts. And she called and she said, you have to allow the sadness. Say to your sadness, I see you. Say to your anger, I see you. Say to your despair, I see you. I recognize you. And she said, just like a child, you're giving the emotion a hug, you're allowing it to be present, and then it walks out of the room and it shifts. So when you're having these negative feelings, recognize them, see them. I see you, pain. I see you, regret. I see you. I recognize you. It's okay that you're here. And it passes. When you suppress it, it builds. It builds. It can create disease. It can create mental health issues. You are in denial of your feelings, which is not healthy. So as Unity Truth students, we don't deny our feelings. We feel them. We recognize them. We speak about them to those that we feel safe with. Those who are spiritually mature, a therapist or a good friend that will hold that space, and then they can easily pass. I see you. I recognize you. But I still know the truth, and I still expect good. And I know this will pass. So, my beloveds, we don't deny what we're feeling, but we recognize the emotion, we recognize the experience, but we move forward with confidence in God, enthusiasm for life, faith, and hope. That is optimism, the synergy of those four qualities. And then the expectation of a positive outcome no matter what. So today I would love to read the Optimist Creed. The Optimist Creed was written by one of the New Thought giants, Christian Larson. Christian Larson was, I consider, a father of our movement. He started the organization of optimists. It exists. And this was in 1912. So it's amazing, all the wealth and knowledge from our tradition that exists from the turn of the century, the early 20th century. So the Optimist Creed, you can find it online. There are posters, there are little cards. I say carry it in your purse, put it as a screensaver, read it once a month. But take this in, the Optimist Creed. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and to press on to greater achievements in the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give as much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. This is the optimist creed. And this is what Abraham embodied metaphysically. So Abraham, despite facing numerous trials and uncertainties, Abraham remained steadfast in his faith and trust in God's promises. Joseph, who was sold into slavery in the Bible by his own brothers and unjustly imprisoned, Joseph never lost hope in God's plan for his life, eventually rising to become a powerful leader in Egypt. David, so we know these truths metaphysically, all of these beloved prophets and healers are metaphorically the I am presence within us. They are the archetypes within our consciousness. And what they overcame with optimism, trust, faith, hope, enthusiasm, and confidence, we can overcome. David, from a shepherd boy to king, his life was marked with challenges and triumphs. Through it all, he remained confident of God's faithfulness and deliverance. The greatest guru, Jesus, is the ultimate example of optimism, hope, and faith. Despite facing rejection, betrayal, crucifixion, Jesus never wavered in his mission or his trust in God's plan. He endured the cross, was despised and shamed, but stayed optimistic. His resurrection is the ultimate metaphysical symbol that we too can resurrect. We too can expect good. And the Buddha taught that optimism rises from cultivating a mind of peace and mindfulness. My beloveds, embrace faith, persevere, spread hope, practice meditation, have enthusiasm, hope, confidence, and faith in this life. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Let's say, I am optimistic.
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 And so it is.